I get Erev Shabbos, alle Teire Chavayrim in the Sunnah, and Yidden, and Goyim, all kinds of people. So, schon lange nicht gemacht ein Video auf Shabbos, so, Covid Shabbos, Mברכים Elul, darf ich unheimlich zu Chivetin. Und auch hätte ich bin driving zu viel an, so, ich kann Zeit schreiben etwas, noch hätte ich einfach nicht was zu schreiben, but uploaden again jeder. So, I was looking in the Parsha, which is Ra'ai, and I didn't find anything to talk about for now. And the whole concept of looking in the Parsha and finding something to talk about is a bit slow. But if I want to give a koteret from the Parsha, it's that you have to be, let's do enough from the Parsha, if you don't have to read, but the part where it says, Yirחיב, Hashem lekecho gevilchu, תאהב נפשך הולך אל בוסר, בכל אהבת נפשך הולך אל בוסר, וכולי, וגוימר. And I want to think in this context of life and stuff. So there's Shabbos Mברכים Elul, and the koteret, how do you say koteret? The header, like the title from El is Tshuva. And Tshuva is the concept in my interpretation of Yirחיב Hashem lekecho gevilchu. This meint, in andere Wörter, Tshuva sounds like reversal. I think that it shouldn't be counted as reversal, it should be counted as growth or change. And it's more accurate. Weil anders macht es keinen Sinn. Weil Tshuva jeder Jahr mit zurückgehen, wie man schon zurück auf letztes Jahr, letztes Jahr, zurück auf der Jahr, and whenever we can Tshuva werden. But the concept is, even if macht Tshuva for as a yearly occurrence, Tshuva, it's not about reversal, it's not about charute of gewisse Sachen oder gewisse attitudes oder gewisse Sachen. It's more about continuance and growth. Other what was the other word I said? What I think is, the Gemara is about Shaykh about Tshuva, but it's a yeshiva, it's a... What it means to say is that Tshuva is not stopping what you did, it's doing exactly what you did in an adult way, in a way of much regardless. And anders is nicht Tshuva, anders is eingelaufen, no, weiß nicht. So what I was thinking about a few things in this context of how we marchiv our Gewalt, that's simply the Pusik is, you know, Menschen sind geworden, a größte Spreitinisch von Jiden, and not everyone lives next to the Beis HaMikdash, which is obviously, I mean, must be a metaphor for people that not the Beis HaMikdash is just a place, but people live further in our lives, the reality of where we live as we grow older, as every year or every geography and becomes further from the Beis HaMikdash. So there's several, and the Pusik doesn't say, oh, it's a shrekler, it's a vaket, this is called Archovis Gevil, this is called wir geworden breiter, instead von Labens talk in the Gewiles, letzte Woche zu gehen, a ganze Parsha von Gewiles said this rule, this is where it is, this is where it's not, and even this Parsha is kind of obsessed, and I've know the Beis HaMikdash, but then they especially wrote a whole Parsha of, wenn es marchiv wird, wenn man will wart von der Gedish, wenn man will nicht mehr wart von der Gedish, wenn man die Gedish zerspreizt sich, which to us in a different perspective, a zweite, ist auch dass ich warte, als Tabe, es essen Fleisch, but in the richtige Perspektive ist marchiv, der hat Archovis Gefühl. Instead von, also wie ich einmal gehabt a heading in Facebook, that I so gestanden, eine Joche lase, was hat ist, weil wie ich gehe, kommt es mit. Das heißt, der Mensch geht geht, instead von meinen, als Göttlichkeit, geht weg von es, verkehrt, schleppt es weiter, wenn pusht der Gewill, man kann nicht gerne rüber der Gewill, man kann marchiv sein der Gewill. Und marchiv sein der Gewill meint nicht marchiv sein, das tut nur marchiv heiz im Gewill. Wherever you go, you push along the Gewill like this with you. So, and what you do is, basically Tshuva and this whole concept is what, when people grow up, and nobody changes. This is, changed. But people keep on doing the same thing, or what we hope is that we will start doing the same thing with more godless, with more maturity, is what I would call it. Ich kann mir sagen, wegen können in sich some people need to change. Letzte Woche habe ich gesehen, einer schreibt auf Facebook, also Mul pflegt an der linke Seite, gewinnt mehr offenen, später Hand sieht man, also das ist mehr offen, und er sagt, ich habe sich getauscht, ich habe sich getauscht. And I'm thinking, was der Tag nicht getauscht, wo kann das halt der größte nehmen, also gelebt der other Platz. But what we should do, or what I think to do is, in some sense, everything is building. If ein Mensch look jetzt zu der zweite Sache, every day has a different theory, a different thought, and is living a very disjointed life. So there is one, you are saying the same thing the whole time, but it's these two, es wird gekocht, es wird mehr mature, es wird mehr, it's the same thing, but it's reine von verschiedenen Stisse, reine von verschiedenen Levischen, was es do, and reine von verschiedenen Quillen, was es wird Archuves gewählt. So what I'll give another example. Ein gewisser Kind, was sich viel Marchov sein, der Gewill, der das sich tragt wegen, ist als ein gewisser Gewill, was in seiner ganzen Zeit, als ein Gewill auf Schule, is looking for the truth, or looking for the honesty, or looking for the objectivity, looking for the real thing. And what I find is that truth, or value, or meaning, or creativity, all the good things that we always talk about, don't exist in a vacuum. They don't exist as an object, as an objective thing. And man sich say objectively is wie der Masse, wie einer so Gesicht war fette Chicken und kein mit Wasser, wie das dann eine Masse. As MSM stops the lie. When you search for the thing in the object as it is, you find nothing, because alles was is deeper in the world. Beauty, Rachne, metaphysics. Metaphysics is really the study of relationships, not the study of objects. Meaning to say, when we talk about like one of the big theories in metaphysics, talking about Kludem, talking about universals, talking about forms, talking about trying, and then there's a whole argument: if forms exist or universals exist, universals not exist, which is in different letters in different places the same argument that the whole world has. Does God exist? Does God not exist? But God and all these words are not meant to describe an object. There's not like an object called God. Like this was materialism is. It's focusing on the object. But there's relations between things. When you say something is beautiful, we're not giving a description. It's not an attribute of the object. It's an attribute. It's a relationship between the object and me, as the person that sees that as beautiful. And when you say, that's relativism, beauty is the eye of the beholder, it's relativism, but we should reclaim the word relativism and call it relationalism. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Beauty is a real thing. It's a real relationship between me and the beautiful thing. If I see a beautiful thing, and I look at it and I'm having a kind of relationship with it by saying it's beautiful, that's how people get connected to beautiful things. People get connected to deeper things, because the deepness, or the whatever we want to call that's below the surface or deeper than the surface, is a relationship. It doesn't exist in the thing. It's not that I can buy the thing and put it in my keller and basement and I'll open the beauty. No, beauty is you go and you look at it and you're having a relationship with that thing. That's what beauty is. That's the difference between a beautiful object and an ugly object, is when you don't want to have a relationship with beauty. And ugliness is a metaphor for every other, good and bad, and all kinds of other words that we have to all kinds of other dichotomies. They're always about what do I want to have a relationship with, or when I have a relationship with something, versus when I don't have a relationship with something, which is tumma or ugly or evil or kinds of things. So so now everything we do when we're discussing or we're trying to grasp beauty or trying to grasp anything is when we're younger, we think we're going to grasp the object. We have this concept of let's convince people that of the truth. Let's convince them that we're right. Let's show the truth to the world. Let's push the truth. And the attitude or the levish that comes with, or the pose, like the posture that it's in, is provocation. Like what he said, it tries to be a trial, tries to be a fly, to someone kicks, do this. But I find that to be a very it's a very, whenever I used to be very trying to win arguments, trying to prove things, because it's not about winning the arguments, it's about finding the truth. But when you start to realize that there's always a relationship going on there, and truth is also just a relationship between me and a thing. I think that you have very dearly or very, very strongly is truth. Is truth. and truth, that the truth as it is, as Safter Menach Beker Zovis, Colorado Lilma, isn't interesting to anyone. That's the whole concept of Tashvel Peh. That's the whole concept of Chiva, of all these things that we're talking about. That we should have a relationship with things. So that's the concept of Brucha, and versus Klula Brucha is, I love you, I want to have a relationship. There's a relationship between me and all the good things. And that's also has been on the concept of Brucha, but I don't have the exact words how to explain it. And clueless things that I'm pushing away from me, that's called timid, that's called Sitra Achra, literally the other side, go away. So what was I saying? Now whenever you have some truth to show, something to put on, when your motivation is, let's prove someone the truth, I find that it never works, because it's focusing on the object of the truth, on the object of, then you get stuck with people's relationships. The guy, he thinks that you're a right finger him and all kinds of things. But when you focus on the relationship and on what you're actually doing, then you can have the same truth in many different levishim, and not just ein gewilf. This is the do is the amis, not anything the shaker. You can have the same level of depth, and the same level of creativity, the same level of spirituality. Can look very benign. It can look very banal. It doesn't have to be just like there's banality of evil, there's banality of good, which means that the good exists in relationship. Being a Nazi or whatever is not an object evil. It's an evil relationship when you want to kill me, and then I'm going to kill you back. But it's not something like an object called Nazism. And the same thing with good. There's not an object called being good. There's not an object called the moral theory. That's why we're talking about moral theory, the Michigan. It's about the relationship in me in a certain situation. I'm going to it's going to be like a loss of the relationship, of a good relationship, of a blessed relationship. But that's what we call morals. That's what it's called mitzvah. That's what's called all these words. They're all about relationship. They're all about the relationship between me and the other thing, the yachas between me and the other thing. It's not about like a concept in itself. And this is one of the things where we keep on growing, and we keep on seeing ourselves in different situations, in different and different and sometimes we want in between, and there's certain rules. There's kind of that you don't have to. That's the matter of the Mizbech, because the Mizbech is just a picture. It's just a certain stockness. And if you think about all these points that I made, you can figure out a full theory of all of those marshes and how to see this dialectic working in them, basically as nicht so by the Zure, but there's a certain place, and that certain place doesn't mean that certain place. It means nicht to make a certain place, and not to be stuck in the Mizbech. And if you want to eat a piece of meat, then just shecht it, and so respect the life, respect the thing you're shechting. Don't eat the blood, whatever that represents, kind of not respecting the life of the animal that you killed, and eat it like a bench with your tav object. Anyways, that's basic ideas for today, and I'm going to finish with that. And there's living on Gita Shabbos, and at Shabbos, Ayun Yirchiv, Zay Zichalens.